Who is it? Who is it sitting here? What are you doing here? Good morning, friends. So today I would like to make a short review between differences in daily life of Georgia and Russia. As far as you know, I left Russia for approximately a little bit more than 1 month, and I would like to make simultaneously a short exploring of small resort town on the Black Sea coast, Kobuleti. Yes, I said Black Sea coast, not a black cat. Yeah? So, friends, let's do it. The first difference is very obvious, but for me as a Russian this is insanity. What, in the middle of December there is no snow? Yes, I think it sounds weird, but that's real fact. The maximum days when snow covering the ground here, approximately 10 days in the coldest years. That's why you can play football here year round.
Кто сейчас самый лучший футболист Грузии?
Грузии? Кварацхелия.
Кварацхелия лучший игрок мира, он достигнет всего.
Here is the rare side warm climate in Georgia, which is expressed in absence of central heating system in houses. In winter temperature can reach here -5 degrees, and in inner regions of Georgia it can reach even lower. That's why the majority of hotels and in our rooms just heating by condition. And this is the first thing that makes the life a bit less comfortable in comparison with Russia. If we talk about locals, they frequently make the special gas installation to heat their houses, which named as karma. If you walk in by street in Georgia, you can frequently meet free water fountain for everyone, which is nonsense for Russia. And we talk about the quality of water itself. In Georgia it has really good quality, while in majority of cities in Russia you should make an additional filtration of water before you drink it. By the way, Ajar is the wettest place in all post-Soviet countries. The maximum precipitation period here right exactly in winter. So here is a classic Mediterranean climate, and the most negative feature of it, it's a mold. All architecture, all monuments are covered by mold, funguses and mosses. But in practice I don't see any problems with it at all, because I even like high humid air in my apartment, because when I breathe my nose doesn't dry up. Georgia is a place where is growing well not only mold but also a huge variety of plants, thanks to the country located in subtropical latitude. That's why here is growing well different vegetables, fruits and plants just on the open air, while in Russia the basic set of vegetables is grown in greenhouse, which is obviously less tasteful. Here you can just put stick in the ground and relax in waiting of new fruits. For example, now here is a lot of ripe persimmons hanging above the street. There's so much that locals even don't care to collect it. That's again interesting moment about in comparison with Russia, because there in middle latitudes I can meet maybe only apple tree and only in August or September. But here I'm sure I can meet something year round. For example, now in December it's mature time for tangerine. The various amount of diversity of local fruits and vegetables we can find on the local central market. But previously we go there, I do want to take a break and visit local cafe. This place is not so popular, the majority of the visitors just workers of market itself, or maybe some locals. Let's go there. Gabriele.
Gabriele. Карги. Gabriele.
Карги это?
Карги. Gabriele. Карги.
Вау. We ordered hashlama, it's a Georgian soup, it's a bouillon with cilantro and beef, and it costed us 10 lari, or approximately $4 for this big portion. Bon appetit, my friends! That's amazing. My picture describes hospitality of Georgians, but in local cafes and restaurants there is so big portions of food, because in Russia I should order maybe something additional to get enough food, but here people are very generous and portions are so big, and I think Georgians may be a little bit offended if you left something in your plates. That's why be careful if you visit sometimes Georgia. I think what I like in Georgian market, I can find here not only red dry wine or different persimmons, fruits, apples, oranges, tangerines. I can find the most important thing, I can find here people, absolutely different, colorful persons of Georgia, and I even think that it's a nice way of exploring the culture of Georgia, just to visit the local market.
Дидим одного.
Там есть внутри еще. Да, иди нахуй.
Это сколько стоит? 7-6 лари.
Это 6
13 лари. Авокадо сколько? 350 за штуку.
Да.
Гранат. Килограмм. Яблоки. 2,50. 2,50 все.
Для гостей бесплатно.
Для гостей бесплатно.
Да, бесплатно.
I visited these persons approximately the 4th time already, and every time after my own buy, they always add me some additional present. So for this time they added me and presented churchhella. It's a Georgian dessert. It's made of walnut or hazelnut, made with jelly. That's very tasteful one. Think what I would like to eat on the coast of Black Sea and enjoy new one sunset. And here is another small differences what I already spotted between our countries. Here is less acquiring system in regular stores and small businesses. If in Russia I'm sure that I will be able to make a payment even in the far village store somewhere in Ural Mountains, but here it's not always. That's why I always need to bring myself a cash. So if I visit big product chains in Kobuleti or in Batumi, in 99% I'm sure I will be able to make the payment by my card. And also there are a lot of homeless dogs walking by street. This issue also has a place in Russia, but in Georgia it's more noticeable, I think, first of all because of warmer climate, softer conditions for life of dogs right on the street. That's why it's more noticeable here. What about similarities? There are also a lot of similarities between Russians and Georgians in everyday life. For example, there are a lot of people in Georgia speak Russian. When older a person in Georgia, then more probability that they speak Russian. And in addition to this similarity, there are also a lot of advertising on Russian language in Adjara and in Georgia in general, because of Georgia is so popular direction for vacation of Russians. Many buildings in Georgia are constructed by Soviet architectures too. Brezhnevkas, Stalinkas, Khrushchevkas and etc. But also with own charm and style. And often owners of apartments renovated their layout inside the flat. They built an additional rooms straight to the facade of house, and this feature is not new even for Russia. For example, in Russian Dagestan and in general in Caucasus, people use it. In general, there are a lot of cultural communications between Russia and Georgia. There are also a lot of families, half Russian or half Georgian families living in Russia or in Georgia right now. It's because of our nations lived in the same country for approximately 200 years, since 1801. Finally, the most important and the most valuable feature what differs Georgia from Russia. Georgia is really free country. Georgia is so free what I even can say here the words war, and I wouldn't be punished for this at all. Thank you, Georgia. You became us the second house and the real shelter for every Russian. Didi Magloba.